In the first scene, we are introduced to Woo Jisoo, a kind and obedient high schooler who is known for her caring nature. Upon arriving at school, she notices her classmates, Ha Daesum and Jo Ah-sung, who are also a couple, arguing with each other. Jisoo immediately steps in and separates the two. Later, she along with Daesum and another classmate, Riho, go out for lunch. Daesum continuously complains about her boyfriend and ignores his call. She also instructs her friends to do the as expected. Ah-sung calls Jisoo that night and explains his side of the story. In response, she tells him to be the bigger man and apologize to Daesum. Later that night, Jisoo recalls telling her secret to one of her friends. It turns out that she has a crush on her friend's boyfriend. She also posts all her feelings on Instagram anonymously so that she can read the supportive comments and feel better. The next day at school, Ah-sung takes Jisoo's advice and apologizes to his girlfriend, prompting them to patch things up. Later during class, he passes a note to Jisoo and thanks her for her suggestion. Meanwhile, the teacher introduces the class to a new transfer student named Miji, who turns out to be Jisoo's friend. The two went to the same middle school and Miji is the friend who knows about Jisoo's secret crush, who is none other than Ah-sung. After school, Daesum learns that Miji is going to be her new neighbor. This excites her since she will finally have company on her way home. Meanwhile, Jisoo and Ah-sung board the same bus home and on their way, the latter becomes so tired that he accidentally rests his head on Jisoo's shoulder. The next day, Miji notices Jisoo's nervousness and reassures her that she won't reveal her secret. Jisoo is curious as to why she transferred to the same school, but Miji decides to tell her some other day. Later, as Daesum is sitting alone after having another argument with her boyfriend, Jisoo approaches her. She asks about the matter, but Daesum instead asks her if she likes Ah-sung. Jisoo is left speechless by the sudden question and this makes Daesum believe that her assumptions are true. She storms away in anger and stops talking to Jisoo altogether. One day, Miji plans to study together with Daesum and invite Jisoo as well. The latter reaches the study cafe first where she meets Ah-sung. Unfortunately, Daesum arrives there at the same time and sees them together. Infuriated, she leaves without hearing an explanation. Ah-sung runs after her while Jisoo confronts Miji and regrets sharing her secret with her. The following day, when Jisoo arrives at school, all the students stare at her and gossip behind her back. Soon, one of her classmates approaches her and displays a photograph where Ah-sung is resting his head on her shoulder. Realizing that this is where the rumors came from, Jisoo immediately goes to Daesum and tries to clear up the confusion, but in vain. After school, she meets Miji alone and apologizes for misjudging her. She also shares how the entire school is making fun of her just because of a photograph. Surprisingly, Miji forgives her and promptly reassures her that everything will be fine. That evening, Jisoo approaches Daesum one more time and confesses everything to her but doesn't get much response. The next day in class, Daesum overhears female students gossiping about Jisoo. Despite everything that has happened, she still supports her friend and shouts at the girls. This time, the two friends finally reconcile and Daesum tells Jisoo to not keep any secrets from her from now on. Hearing this, Jisoo appears to be concerned as she recalls another secret she told Miji. It turns out that she was constantly bullied in middle school. Later in class, the test results are out. Everyone is shocked to learn that the former class topper, Lee Yoo-jae, has come in second place. They are even more surprised to discover that the new topper is none other than Miji. The same evening, Jisoo and her friends discuss Riho's birthday in their group chat. They want to make sure everything is planned out well. The next day, Miji and Jisoo go shopping for a birthday cake while the others start decorating their chosen spot. On the way, Jisoo is about to get hit by a bicycle, but fortunately, Miji saves her. Following this, they all have a great time celebrating the birthday, but then, Riho receives a text message from someone prompting her to leave. The rest of the group also head home, when suddenly, Jisoo notices Eric Kang, her middle school bully. She immediately freezes in fear, so Yoo-jae becomes concerned and walks her home. On the way, he suggests she confide in someone she trusts, which will help her feel lighter. Taking Yoo-jae's advice, Jisoo shares with Miji how the bad memories resurfaced when she spotted Ericong. Miji calms her down and tells her to forget the past because everyone loves her now. Later, Uj approaches Miji in the library and asks several questions about Jisoo, having apparently fallen for her. Shortly after, the three of them exit the library and head home. On the way, Jisoo receives a phone call from Riho. This makes her anxious and she leaves urgently. After a while, Miji also gets a call from Ericong but she dismisses it. Jisoo meets Riho at a restaurant, where the latter shares her decision to abandon her dream of becoming an idol. She wants suggestions on what to do, but Jisoo, afraid she will offend her friend, remains silent. The following day after class, the friends are preparing for a Korean performance assessment, and during this, Miji receives a call from Ericong, which she once again ignores. After completing the preparation, Jisoo asks if they know how to comfort someone, to which Uj asks if she has ever been comforted. She recalls the previous day when Miji comforted her at the library, making her realize how she should proceed. After this, she thanks Miji and heads to meet Riho. This time, she sincerely consoles her and encourages her to pursue her other hobby, which is painting. On the other hand, Uj accompanies Miji to school because she has left her phone there. Upon reaching the class, she grabs her phone and unlocks it, only to discover that she has 5 missed calls from Ericong. In the next scene, we see the group at a restaurant discussing their weekend plans. As soon as day, some intend to go on a sushi date, whereas Riho plans to go on a trip. It is revealed that Miji asked Yoj out on a movie date but he declined. Despite this, she still pretends to have plans and leaves. Uj then asks Jisoo if she is free on the weekend, to which she says yes. On Saturday, Uj takes her to see her favorite writer's lecture. He also presents her with a book from the same author so that she can get an autograph. This excites Jisoo and she thanks him several times. Later, as the two are returning home, they spot Miji talking to a girl who is none other than Ericong. Jisoo is already in tears seeing the bully, but she is even more upset when Ericong reveals that Miji was the mastermind behind the bullying. The scene then flashes back to the past where Ericong accuses Jisoo of betraying her and stealing her boyfriend. Jisoo, who was innocent, tries her best to explain, but the entire school turned on her. Unaware of the actual truth, even Miji supported Ericong. However, it soon became clear that Ericong's boyfriend is a jerk. This makes Miji realize that Jisoo is innocent and it is the boy who is lying. She regrets supporting Ericong so much that she ends up transferring to Jisoo's school. Miji narrates that she wanted to be close to Jisoo and revealed the entire truth to her. At present, she yells at Ericong for bullying Jisoo, despite her innocence, and says that she is ashamed to be her friend. Meanwhile, Jisoo, who is heartbroken, walks home alone, recalling bad memories. She remembers how she and Ericong used to be great friends and how extreme the bullying became after the allegation. The next day, Jisoo confronts Miji at school and expresses her disappointment in what she did. Despite the fact that she considered her a close friend, Miji apologizes for not being able to admit it, but Jisoo doesn't believe her anymore. Eventually, their discussion turns into an argument, attracting the attention of the entire class. Since Jisoo is loved and adored by everyone, they turn on Miji and start bullying her. This goes on for days, and she finally realizes how dreadful it feels to be bullied. One day, the group is having lunch together, when suddenly, one of them discovers that Jisoo's anonymous Instagram account has 12,000 followers and that her posts are really impressive. Later, as Jisoo is sitting alone, Riho approaches her and admits that she has been following her Instagram posts, which have helped her a lot when she felt low. She also encourages Jisoo to forget about the past and look forward to the future. Meanwhile, Miji, who is constantly bullied, decides to just take it without retaliation. One day, Jisoo confronts her in class and asks why she doesn't speak up to defend herself. Jisoo also reveals that she is upset with her not only because of the past but also because she kept Ericong's friendship a secret. Miji admits that she wanted to tell her, but was afraid of hurting her even more. Before departing, Jisoo yells at the other students, telling them to stop gossiping and blabbering about things that they aren't sure of. Surprisingly, this silences the class, and they promise to stop bullying. Afterwards, Miji approaches Jisoo again and apologizes for everything she has done. She considers her a true friend and wants to reconcile. In response, Jisoo claims that she also considered her the same and shared all of her secrets, but she is no longer comfortable doing so. As a result, Jisoo tells Miji that they can't be friends anymore, as she just can't see past the betrayal. In the next scene, things eventually settle back to normal, and Jisoo has started posting quotes on her personal Instagram account. She believes that she no longer needs to keep any secret. A few days later, a school teacher announces the term break and encourages the students to study even harder the following year. After school, as Jisoo is walking back home, she suddenly realizes that she left her diary in the library. She hurries there only to find Miji. It's a very awkward encounter, but nonetheless, the two wish each other happy holidays before departing. At the beginning of the new school year, Jisoo returns to school a completely different person because she is no longer anxious and doesn't care about other people's opinions towards her. She has also completely overcome her past trauma and always tries to raise her voice against bullying. The series ends as Jisoo enters class and prepares to sit with her best friend Miji.